What's up, everybody? Clint here from the Two Wheels of Freedom newsroom. Once again, we're going to cover the big event of the weekend first, Big Hill Jam at Albany MX Park out in Oregon. The Mountain Motorsports Pro MX podium was Justin Hill, not surprising. Josh Hill, not surprising. And I don't know who Austin Black, but he's obviously very fast. He comes in third. This podcast is brought to you by Hero Soap Company. It's made in America by Americans, and some of the profits go to first responders and EMTs, firemen, things like that. And you can get a discount using the code CLINT, C-L-I-N-T, at checkout. Moving on to Best Whip in third place in the electric division, which is called Bestest Whip, I think they were calling it, is Nick Thomasounis. And Tom Parsons says the turndowns were so big, which obviously you can see from this video. If it was biggest turndown, you win, but it's hard to beat a moto-style seat bounce whip with anything else. I've never seen it happen. I'm just glad I didn't have to judge. It was all so close. You still killed it. In second place, of course, every time I go to this video, it's him talking. So anyway, in second place, Wyatt Fontenot also on the Stark in the electric class. Here you go. Here's some big moto-style whip. Opposite side moto style whip, pretty much just as big. And here's a big turn down. Sick. And your winner, if you couldn't have guessed, Patrick Evans. Also got the moto style whip. He's got the turn downs. I think this is just one clip of one whip. So there you go. But yeah, he's took the whip home. He decided to stick to his guns, not switch to the gas-powered bike for X Games, and just wait it out for the important events, Big Hill Jam. Now, moving on to RedBud National. Here we go. RedBud 450 class. Jet goes 1-1 after getting I guess he got an all right start, but he crashed in the second moto, had to come back from 18th to first, and didn't really seem too bothered by it. He went through the pack fairly quickly. Second place is Hunter Lawrence, his brother. Then Justin Cooper, RJ Hampshire, Chase Sexton, who his fourth place finish in Moto 2, which he was like, I didn't expect much. 5.4 is still really good, and I think he fell in both motos. Definitely fell in the second moto while running in second and staying with Jet. So obviously Chase still has the speed, and we should look for him to contend for some wins. I think he'll do good the end of the year just because, in my opinion, Chase is a guy that rides really well when there is no pressure. Chase will get himself into position to fight for the championship, and then once he gets there and the points are close, kind of seems to have an issue. I say that he did fall second moto, kind of standard issue for Chase, unfortunately, but he looked great, and nobody was doubting his speed. In sixth place, Jorge Prado. Seventh place, Justin Barcia, who just came back off of an injury as well. So, or as like Sexton did. But Prado, he showed, speed in the beginning of the motos, but just couldn't keep it up there. And he likes to say that he's struggling with the bike a little bit, but I don't know that your lap times drop that hard if you are in shape. I'm just guessing. So the point standings in 450, Jet has 290 points. Hunter Lawrence has 239. Tomac is back there after his couple of crashes, DNFs. He's got 217 points. Who is the person that we would have expected to challenge for the championship, with Sexton taking a step back there for a couple of rounds? I kind of see Jet just running away, unless there's some kind of crash or injury or something like that. Jet's basically going to run away with the championship. He's won all the overalls this year, not all the motos. And like I said, the guy that contended for moto wins was Eli Tomac, who has either done well or fairly bad. So there you have it on the 450 class. 250 class. Little breath of fresh air. Just seeing somebody else win. Joe Shimoda went 1-1, which we all know that Hayden had a rough weekend. And here's the thing. Typically in title fights, whenever Hayden has a rough weekend, his competitors have a worse weekend. It's like Supercross. He goes down, and then whoever he's dealing with then also goes down and finishes behind him, or gets a bad start and then goes down. So at least Shimoda had a good weekend on Hayden's off weekend, which tightens the points up. Hayden's in first with 274. Shimoda's in second with 236. Again, he's keeping him there if Hayden has more of an issue with his leg than we think. Here's Eli walking back from his DNF. And here's Jordan Smith exiting the track, which he was okay until the Monster. I noticed he is not a Monster athlete, so I think maybe Monster was getting revenge on him. But we also have, here you go. Here's Deegan down in the second qualifier. Now, they said Charlie horse, which I also heard after a MRI or an X-ray that there was a bone bruise. And let me tell you, I never got it looked at, so I don't really know the extent, but I crashed pretty hard before and landed on my handlebars as well. And let me tell you, it sucked trying to ride with my left thigh 3 inches. Yes, I measured. It was 3 inches bigger around than my right thigh. And it was incredibly painful. So I understand this, and people like to act like if it's not broken that it's not going to hurt. But your quad is a big muscle, and your femur is a big bone, and when you hurt them, it's definitely painful. The question is, which I was impressed that he got second in that second moto, because the thing with that is you're going to have to ice it and stuff, especially immediately. You're not going to want to massage anything. You're going to want to ice it, which if you have to ice your thigh prior to first moto, that means you're going in the first moto with a severely tightened up thigh. So you're not going to be able to, have the range of motion. It's just going to feel stiff the whole time, which maybe is what happened right after this initial crash. He went back to the truck and they iced it a lot. And maybe that's why first moto was kind of extra rough for him. Maybe they were able to take care of it a little bit in between. But the big thing is going to be how much can they address it over the week. I'm sure he'll see a physical therapist or something, probably cryo, stuff like that. But also, inflammation seems to build a little bit the next 2 days, 3 days after an injury like that. And again, it's going to be them trying to mitigate the swelling before it gets too bad. So if they can keep it down initially and keep range of motion and stuff going into next week, we'll see if it hampers him anymore. I don't want him to be hurt, but in the context of the championship, him having another off weekend wouldn't hurt my feelings, especially if Joe could do good, because that would tighten our points race up a little bit, which that's all we want to see is a tight championship points race. So hopefully that can happen. Now here you have poker, 18 hours. Hayden, a 14th and second is completely unacceptable if you want to beat Jet. Time to step up to 1-1 next weekend, bro. Which, first off, before we even address what Hayden says back, is a stupid comparison. If you remember in Supercross, Jet dabbed his foot and then missed all the rest of the series. Last year, he crashed and then missed the rest of the series. So to be like, oh, you didn't do good after you crashed, anybody can have that happen and have a bad weekend because you don't feel good. It's a silly statement. Everybody just, I guess, because Tegan's poking the bear with he's going to run against Jet, everybody wants to prove that he's not because of any little incident, which is this, So, like I said, having had a severely bruised quad and probably bone, I did not go to the doctor, he still got second in the second moto. So let's not get too crazy. Hayden himself says, wish you knew what I did to my leg, but I'd rather not make excuses, which I really respect. And, good on you for not being, crying about your leg the whole time. And like I keep saying, the issue we're going to see is, can he get it healthy enough before next week to get back to winning all the motos again? I'm hoping that maybe there's just a little bit of a leftover issue so that we can get the race tightened. That's all. Also, side note, Antonio Caroli got a 9th in the first moto on a stock motored Ducati Desmo 450. I think that's what they're calling it. The dude is 39 and he is retired, and he got top 9th on a stock, what allegedly is a stock motored bike. They just went and worked with Factory Connection a little bit on suspension, which he's only been here for like a week prior. So he had a week and a half, maybe week and a half to work on suspension settings on a stock bike and got a 9th, dude, at 39. So I can see all of the vet riders lining up to get themselves the ultimate vet moto weapon in the Ducati 450. All right, another sponsor for this podcast is Tough Jug. As you can see in this little video here, they have a automatic shutoff. If you put the nozzle into your fuel tank, it will guarantee that you never, look how close that guy knew exactly where to put the nozzle into. If you put it in there, you will never overfill and ruin your graphics again or get gas on your crotch. So you can actually get free shipping on any of your orders using the code 2WHEELS, TW, 2WHEELS spelled out 25, just the numbers.